Boom, boom, kaboom. Yes, welcome everybody to episode 15 of the Gaming Fuse podcast. Yes, that's the new intro as provided by my good pal, Shaun Labrie. So hit him up anytime you guys need some graphics or artwork done. He's phenomenal. And again, a big shout out and appreciation to Shaun for getting that stuff done for me. But short and sweet, and that's hopefully how we'll try to keep the podcast on point and just rocking hot. And speaking of rocking hot, we've got some amazing topics and an amazing guest for you all tonight. But first of all, let's bring back in the panel and say hello. And first up, we got, the man who's so big. Their opinions are so big, we call him Titan. You know him, Titan Drago. What's going on, brother?
What's up, everybody? In lieu of Mortal Kombat 1 coming out soon, right? What is it, 5 days away, something like that?
Yeah, we're getting close.
It's like within a week away, I think, especially for those early access people. But I got my G Fuel flavor this week is Scorpion Sting. And I give this a 9. Not a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 100.
Hold up against Scorpion Sting. Is that like Scorpion from Mortal Kombat? Because I'm looking at it there. Yeah,
yes,
there you go.
Can see the get over here, It is a really bad flavor, but it actually stings. It actually stings. I don't know how the hell they did it, but you take a drink and it's like stinging, like wherever it touches, man. It's crazy, but it tastes like terrible, but really unique.
Stings the throat. Yeah. G Fuel, Scorpion Sting, guys. Get your can today. Good stuff, Titan. Well, I'm glad you're doing well. We'll come back and talk about the games everybody's been playing in just a second. But let's bring back in, hopefully he's here somewhere, our other co-panel member, Mr. Mental9R. Oh, there he is. I thought he was off Starfield for a second. I thought he had done it. I thought he had done one of those glitches there for a second.
He's talking. No, just thought I could beat you to it, but didn't quite get the cover off in time. So scarf down my food. I think I'm good now. Looking forward to the show. Should be a good time. Can't wait to hear what you think about Starfield there, Noof, now that you've had some time in it as well. And
absolutely.
Yeah. Good times.
Yeah,
let's get started.
We're going to talk about as well, but yeah, we'll definitely kind of the large part of it will be our impressions of Starfield. Now that everybody's it's been out in the wild, everybody's had a chance to kind of dig in. Most people are, quite a ways into the game now, or I hear a lot of people, 100 hours in and they're not even scratching the surface, so to speak. All right, but let's bring the one and only. She was supposed to be our guest here last week, but we had a bit of a miscommunication somewhere along the line, so she could not make it, and it's totally understandable. But without any further ado, she is the first female to make an appearance on the Gaming Fuse podcast. She hosts her own show on Saturdays, which happens to be on Friday night in our neck of the woods. The always impressive, the very lovely, kick your ass at a video game and do it with a big, big grin, the one and only Doomcutie.
Hello. Thank you for that lovely introduction, Noof. You've always got that lovely way about you, so thank you so much for having me on.
Well, we're glad you can make it here, Doom. And again, to all the chat, we're going to catch up with you guys here real quick. And then we're going to talk about, obviously, what games we've been playing. I got a suspicion most of us are playing the same one. But anyway, let's catch up with the first person in the chat, usually as usual, is Doggy Dog 420. What's going on, brother Doggy Dog? We got M. Gene in the building tonight. What's going on? The Game Complainers is here. And yes, Game Complainers, I plan to get you on this podcast in the near future. Draven Arrow is in the building. Your Wicked Hot's hanging out with us as well. We got Timmy in the house. What's going on, brother Timmy? Talus Ray is in the building. Good friend Timothy Dixon is here. What's happening, Timothy? Good to see you, my friend. We've got our WK88 hanging out in the building. We have also got, Papa Woody is here. It's going to be a good show. Papa Woody's hanging around, and he's probably popping 2 Woodies tonight. We've got, I think we've got, who else? We got Sir X-Man in the building. I do believe our good brother Dreadpool is here. Fastback from the NLG podcast hanging out with us as well. Good to see you here, my friend. Who else we got going on here tonight? We got Axel from the Iconic Video Games Podcast, a host of Good Morning Xbox on Sundays. Axel1324 is in the house. What's going on, brother Axel? And John 907 is here. We got Angel Azriel 17 or 7, I think it is. So good to see you here. caught up with everybody. It's my tradition to try to at least say hello to everybody. What's going on, guys and gals? Thank you for being here and supporting not only our podcast, but obviously Doomcutie as well. All right, so what's everybody been playing? Let's start with our amazing guest, Doom. What have you been digging into in the last couple of days or the last couple of weeks, for that matter?
Well, probably before an amazing title that I'm sure we'll talk a lot about. I've been playing a lot of Baldur's Gate 3. That has been a lot of fun. I can't wait till it comes out on Xbox, but I've been playing it on my PC. Unfortunately, my PC isn't powerful enough to stream it, so I haven't been able to stream it. But that's okay because I've been having a great time. Larian Studios actually has a Discord, and you can just jump in and play with people. It's actually really fun. So definitely, if that's a game that you really enjoy, definitely check that out. Another game that I have been playing, and it just came out yesterday, is I've been playing, obviously, oh my goodness, I have lost Motorfest. So the crew Motorfest, that came out yesterday.
Jesus. Wow.
And yeah, I will express my thoughts on it on social media like soon. But to be honest, I feel like it's, it's a, for any car game lover, it's a game that will kind of, it's something to play until Forza Motorsport comes out, So
I was going to say, you are a huge Forza Horizon fan. I know that you've played hours and hours in it. So where would you say it stacks up? Is it just kind of a Ubisoft knockoff per se, or is it competent enough to stand on its own? But just what's missing from it then that just makes you feel like, yeah, it's good, but yeah.
I think the vibe kind of reminds me of how than like other arcadey style games in the racing genre have been, that kind of like trying to really be like super modern and things like that. But I will say that obviously Forza Horizon, that whole series is absolutely incredible. The way that game plays, the physics inside that game is just magnificent. So it's I think it's a little bit unfair to compare them because they obviously run off different engines. So, but it's just a little bit of fun. The only thing that sort of I'm finding a little bit jarring in the game is, so the game is set in Hawaii. I've never been to Hawaii, but I'm pretty sure Hawaii doesn't have a Chinatown. And in order to incorporate the drifting in the game, they've actually added in a section where you're transported to a Chinatown-like area, and it feels incredibly jarring compared to the very easygoing, coastal kind of vibe that is Hawaii. Like, I feel like that could have been done a little bit better. Like, can you imagine drifting around a volcano? Like, that would have been wicked. So anyway, yeah, I will say the menu isn't as intuitive in the crew, but it's it is what it is. Like I said, it's something, it's there, it's a bit of fun, and if you like racing games, you'll have a great time. But I've also put in a lot of hours into Starfield, just like all of you. I'm very sure. I'm very certain.
All right. Well, hold your opinions on Starfield for just a few moments, and we will get right into it. Should I dare ask what you've been playing, Mental?
Well, you can ask, but I think you probably already know the answer. It's been pretty much just Starfield.
By the way,
I did play.
Shift your head just a little bit to your right. Look at that! Look at that! He centered right into Starfield. Look!
Isn't in the middle.
Look at that! It's almost like you got two sets of headphones on.
Wrong way. There you go. Is that better?
Yeah. It's almost like you're wearing like a Starfield banner over the top of your head.
Got a Starfield halo. Good times. Yeah. No, besides Starfield, little bit of Ratchet and Clank, oddly enough, because I did start that quite a while ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a little bit of that. So, but yeah, primarily Starfield. Enjoying the heck out of that game, but we'll talk more about that later.
Indeed. Yeah, I guess most people have been pretty on the narrow path. Well, I did see Titan playing. What the hell are you playing now? Rocket League, I think.
Yeah, I bet my son. I lost $40, $60 to him now. I lost 3 different bets to him, $20 each. I'm
Time
getting
to quit
hustled by
betting there, I
Is he
think.
playing against
yeah,
him or
right.
something, or is he just betting that you're just going to lose?
Yeah, custom 1v1. Thing is, I'm not a 1v1 player though.
Right.
I'm duos, like, and I'm not very good at trios either. But I'm really good at duos.
Yeah. Did you have
I'm
Crazy
high
Greek dude
diamond
playing
duo.
with you the other night?
Say that again.
Did you have Crazy Greek dude playing with you the other night?
Yeah, and he's like
That's
champion.
what I was gonna say.
Something.
That dude's lethal at that game. Jesus.
Yeah, me and him were doing duos ranked, and I was like, he's champion, and I was hanging, I was doing well, so I'm like, I'm that level as far as a duos player, especially when I got someone as good as Greek backing me up, But yeah, super fun times on. I also play with Iceman too in the chat. Now I don't see him yet
good old
tonight,
Ice.
but
I haven't seen him yet, but he usually always comes in a bit later.
yeah.
Nice. But you've obviously been playing the game that we're about to talk about, Starfield.
Yeah,
and
I
now
think
I
I'm
asked you
level.
last week, and you were kind of like, "Yeah, ask me later." Well, now I'm asking you.
Yeah, I'm level at 23 now.
Okay.
Somewhere on there. So.
Oh, all right. I loved how David Jaffe. You guys familiar with David Jaffe?
Mm-hmm.
Right, creator of what the hell is that
God
racing
of
game?
War.
Creator of God of War. Yeah, Twisted Metal. But anyway, how he caught one of the PlayStation people sort of red-handed, saying how the game was boring, blah blah blah. And and as he got deeper into it, David basically played him for a fool because he goes, what did you think about the part where they're burning the bodies at the start, where Commander Lynn and stuff, right? And the guy didn't know what to say, and he's like, yeah, because you didn't play the game, that's not even in it, right? And it was pretty good catch him red-handed, because right now there's, like I said, there's a lot of people singing the praises of Starfield. And personally, I think rightfully so. I think this game is magnificent in many ways. I think what you get out of this game is largely, I think, what you put into it. This is the kind of game that leaves a lot of interpretation, like how you want to play it, how you want to take a mission. There's little intricacies about the game that I've already noticed, and I'm not nearly as far along as probably half of you guys or people in the chat, because, like I said, I was a late starter. But I'm certainly enjoying it. So. All right, who wants to start us off? Who wants to put their hands up and get us going? Like, just tell us what your impression is. I'm assuming that nobody's completed the campaign portion yet.
Well, I think Mentor should, because he's really dressed for the occasion.
Right. so Mental, give us your lowdown. What when you finally get to play the game, your impressions of it, and seeing that everything that's out there right now. I mean, like the Metacritic scores really aren't that important, but it's still sad because, again, they seem to be largely getting dragged down by people that largely seem like they don't have so much issues with the game as they do the fact that it's an Xbox exclusive. When it's scoring lower than some of the older Bethesda games, and this game clearly has a lot more polish, it just makes you start to wonder, like, what's going on. But yeah, man, just take it away. Tell us where you're at.
Well, I'm about 20 some odd hours into it now, I think. Oh, no, actually more than that. I'm probably closer to 30 hours. I'm around level 20. And I think that one of the narratives to start with, I mean, Rand touched on this when he did his review, was that he felt like the game started slow. He was 10 hours in or so, and he's thinking, oh man, is this all there is? I never had that problem. I'm into the whole space thing anyway. Was the guy sitting out in my backyard with my telescope kind of thing, with and doing that type of stuff, right? So I mean, I was into it right from the word go. What I can say is now I'm really into it. Like, the game is just it's crazy. For the first time, I actually had to run away from a fight, though. I had jumped into a location, and I was just getting destroyed. Like, there was no way I was going to win that, so I had to jump away. But I have no idea how far I am in the main story. I did go back and hit the main quest line a bit, just because there's some stuff in there that you sort of want to unlock, I think, just to improve your character. So I went back and I did a bunch of those, and it's pretty good. I don't want to say anything from a spoiler perspective. I have no idea how far along everyone is, but yeah, it just keeps getting better. And I've gone off now. I'm starting to do some of the main side quests. I just went back to the Free Rangers and said, "Yeah, sign me up. I'll do that." And I'm just excited to see what happens there. I've just finished the initiation quest with that one and went off and had to kill some guy that was a bad guy or whatever, and did that quickly and returned. And I'm just at the point of walking up to them and saying, "Hey, job's done. Let's go."
Right.
So I'm having a great time. What can I say? And especially happy now too. Some of the mods are starting to come out. So
Right.
yeah. And
Uh,
first one I went and installed was just the reshade, because on PC there's no HDR. I hear the HDR is a bit
mhm.
broken on Xbox anyway, but um, on PC there is no HDR, so the
Right.
colors are a little flat and whatnot. So reshade helps with that.
Mhm.
And of course the DLSS mod. So
Right.
my frame rate feels a lot nicer now. I'm consistent. I don't think I ever drop below 100 now. And
Amazing.
in the other areas, I'm up around 144 plus on my
A
ultra
hundred
wide that I've
frames a
got.
second? What changed?
Yeah. Uh, Now I actually have a upscaling technology that works,
Oh,
whereas
okay.
FSR was just broken, and now with DLSS working, it's improved dramatically,
Do you know which is it
and
DLSS 2 or 3 or
it's 3.5. Yeah, it's the
he's
latest.
he's
So
googling. He's like,
yeah,
I need
no,
this.
it's yeah,
well,
it's
that's a
good.
game
Like
changer.
it made a huge difference. Yeah, it's even
Yeah.
playable on my laptop now, which I was quite happy with.
Wow.
So if I do have to go somewhere, I can take my laptop and keep playing. So that part's cool. Um, yeah, no, it's fun. I mean, I think I messaged you guys with that other mod where you can get out of your ship in space and you can fly around with a jetpack in space. You can even apparently walk around on asteroids and stuff too. And apparently you could even build an
Oh my
outpost on the
goodness.
larger asteroid. So that's pretty crazy. I mean, that's all stuff to play with down the road. I modded the heck out of Skyrim back in the day, and uh, so I could see there's a lot of hours left in this one for me to mess around with, and hopefully a lot of those mods make their way to Xbox too. The
Like,
capabilities there, and
how would you like to be a crew member stationed upon an asteroid?
oh,
Imagine.
seems like a perfect place to put Lynn, since she was making everyone burn bodies at the start of the game. So
Yeah.
you know,
That's funny.
Hey,
Yeah,
we are a mobile unit. We never know where we're going to be.
yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
No,
But
that's great.
yeah,
so like because those asteroids they contain different materials, so I wondered if you could throw an extractor on there and actually have a workable outpost, like to actually mine you some resources and whatnot. Because I just
yeah,
made my first outpost. Like I put a few different things on it. Like I don't even have a habitat area. It's just like it's on a it's a really bad place to be stationed, let me tell you. But so
yeah.
there's no
Uh,
indoors, right? I haven't got it enclosed yet because the junk is expensive,
nice.
right? Like
Yeah,
building an
Yeah.
outpost and putting the structures there, like it's going to
Yeah.
take some time, at least more than I've put into it
I, I
thus far.
I still haven't built one, so there's so much to do that I'm just having fun going around killing people and blowing up spaceships and
Uh,
stuff.
I'm mining like
It's my first
water.
person shooter heritage. So
You know what? I think that's probably one of the most beautiful things about this game. Like outside of, I know it's an RPG, but the way that this game has been
yeah,
created, no one's journey is the same, and it's not
Mhm.
supposed to be. It's not a race. It's it's completely about discovery. And quite frankly, that kind of thought, that kind of idea behind gaming is the reason why we started playing in the first place. So
yeah,
I think Todd Howard has really tapped into the inner child of pretty much every single gamer out there.
yeah.
Because
It's
honestly, if you're a gamer, you're an explorer. So,
Mhm.
and I tell you,
well said.
this is an incredible game.
Right.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's hard for me, and obviously there's some bias because I love the game, but it's just hard to imagine how anyone could rate it lower than an 8. To be honest, it just, yeah, it's got that much to offer, and I think Todd
Yeah.
Howard also said something along the lines of the more you give it, the more you're going to get from it, right?
Mhm.
And I can totally see that. Like the more exploring you do, the more it gives back, and you're just like, oh wow, that was really cool. And I want to talk about a bunch of stuff, but spoilers, right? But
To me, Starfield
it's
feels more like Starfield feels more like the Star Trek of a sort of a space odyssey RPG as opposed to a Star Wars. And I'll give you an example. It's like
yeah,
Star Wars was in space, right? But it was a big, explosive sort of extravaganza of sorts. When you look at
yeah,
Star Trek was always a little bit more exploration, a little more philosophical, a little more, like thought provoking, essentially. Whereas again, Star Wars was your popcorn, your summer movie flick with space involved, and Star Trek kind of felt like a little more out there. And trust me, I'm more of a Star Wars fan. But Starfield feels to me like, again, it tinkers with the exploration. But it gets a lot right now. It's getting a lot of comparisons to No Man's Sky. And personally, I've played both
yeah.
games, and No Man's Sky to me is not anywhere close. First of all, I mean, I love the visual aesthetic.
Well,
of this
also,
game,
how much
right?
time did you put into No Man's Sky too? Because that's another game you got to put a lot into.
You got to put a
that
lot,
to
and
really-
I didn't put a lot. I'm not down No Man's Sky because No Man's Sky, compared to where it started from the last time that I played the build, was massive. Like, and that is a great game in itself. And do not get me wrong, but I wanted to say, like, I felt that No Man's Sky felt a little more like it didn't really seem like it revolved around a big set narrative at all. Like, it really felt like it was just kind of like leaving you up to your own accord. And I felt like a lot of the planets you were on was just like simply discovering things and finding enough resources to fix up your ship or advance it and go on to the next planet, so to speak. You know what I mean? Whereas
See, I had a full
Starfield's,
armada. I had
no.
a full armada in
No Man's Sky.
in No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
I also reached the build limit of a base. There
Mm-hmm.
there wasn't supposed to be one. That was a big letdown. I remember. They said I remember people built a staircase all the way out of the planet. You know what I'm saying? So out of the atmosphere of a planet. But there wasn't.
Titan,
built
I feel like you're the kind of gamer that likes to try and break games or push games to the absolute limit. So how big can I make this? How tall can I make this?
It's
is
like
that
I don't know. I don't think I'd try to break it, but if I like something, I go big. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Minecraft, I build huge things in Minecraft. I don't know. That's just
Yeah,
the way
nice.
I am. I like to, and one of the good things about Starfield is when you create an outpost, I don't even see the boundary of building area. And I didn't look too hard, but it seems really, really big. I remember Fallout 4, you could kind of see it. You could kind of see the circle in which you could build your base in Fallout 4. So it was kind of limited in decent space, but this one is it's much larger.
I could sit here and sing the praises of many, many things. Overall, the game is serving amazingly. But there are some quality of life things that I do want. And if we're building, I do want to have a bird's eye view mode. Because sometimes the areas can be a little bit difficult to see. And it's not until you actually place the item where you can actually understand how the spacing interacts. So that's something that I wish I could have in the building. Are there any limitations that you guys are feeling with the building if you've explored it?
Like with building outposts?
Yeah.
I mean, like I said,
Well,
it
I'm
takes
not
a
quite
lot to build stuff, so I haven't gathered enough resources.
No,
and
just
materials.
the functionality of the system, being able to see it from top down. For me personally, would would be.
I think there
is
is one. I think
I
when you're building the base. No, I'm with you. I couldn't find it either, but I think there is one. I'm pretty sure I
Like
saw
it feels
someone
like
do
there
that.
should be, because you can see top down from, like, obviously it's a different area, but when you're building your ship, you can see it from top
Mhm.
down. Anyway, there's
Mhm.
just a few like quality of life things that I
Right?
wish that I had, but I will say there's probably like mods out there that will help. Like, for example, like Mental's talking about the frames per second, he's talking
Mhm.
about the color shading, you know, a mini map would be great in the major cities.
Yeah, well, yeah. The city map leaves a lot to be desired. The planet maps, something a little bit more detailed would be nice too. Uh, I could see some improvement. We touched on this a bit last week. The inventory system's a little bit clunky. It's not terrible. I think
Okay.
it's better than some of the Fallout games, for instance, and whatnot.
Yes, yeah.
So they did make improvements in that respect, but I still think there's areas they could do better.
Mhm.
I think my other gripe is, everybody complains about getting over encumbered a little too easily.
Well,
There's
just
ways.
be more picky, you know? Like,
Well, yeah.
It's
I
oh
think
my
we've
goodness
like-
gracious!
Stop
I'm
picking
try-
up
well-
all the coffee mugs and
here
shit.
we
okay?
go.
Well,
Here we
here's the
go.
hard part about that. Here's the
It's all
hard
those
part.
sandwiches.
Mean.
I'm trying to build outposts, and to build outposts, you need those, like, I don't know. Everything is like heavy that you got to carry. You can
Yeah,
craft
yeah.
it, or you can
Yeah.
like find it in bases, and that's what I've been primarily doing. Like while I clear out a base, I'll look for, I don't know what it's called, like adaptive frames, and those are like 1.5 pounds each, and then like the other parts too are like
Kilograms.
sometimes 5 pounds each. So
Yeah.
my God, I go to one base and I'm like, and I get
You're
rid
crawling
of
out
all
of there.
my
You're
crap.
crawling out of the base because
Yeah, my dude's like sweating.
You're
and
constantly
You
winded.
know what the weight of all that stuff actually reminded me of? It reminded me of Death Stranding, because in Death Stranding you have the way your pack down and everything has a weight rating, and that was your inventory system really in Death Stranding. Was like the bigger your pack got, the more you would tip and fall down on when you're walking across the environment. So it was hilarious, and you had to balance your bag and shit. But anyway, enough about Death Stranding. We're talking about getting stranded in space. Go right for it, sir. Go ahead, Titan.
Brought Death Stranding into this conversation.
No, that's great. That's fantastic.
Yeah. You know it's bad though when you're thinking of having to unlock the weightlifting perks just so you can carry more things, right?
I had to. I gave up. I threw in the towel.
it's-
I'm with you,
Yeah.
but I was like, screw it.
Yeah.
I'm doing it.
Gotta do it. Yeah, gotta do it. I mean, that
'Cause you
extra
can get,
100 kilos you can get is pretty
level
good.
3 is like what, 150 extra? That's
I think
Yeah.
that's
double?
level 4. I think is 100, isn't it? Level 4
something
is
like
100?
that. Either way, it's like
But
almost
yeah. Either
double.
way, it's a lot. It's a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah, it's a huge add-on. Although I have found, I don't know if you guys have run into this. There's magazines and stuff you can find.
Yeah.
I found 2, I think now, that have increased my carry capacity. So I'm up
Wow.
I think 35 kilograms from what I was
Wow.
originally.
Yeah, so
Lucky
some of the
mug.
magazines can do +8, I think.
I want
So
the
if you,
coordinates of those
Yeah.
magazines.
Oh,
unfortunately, they won't be in the same place for you.
Really?
this is true. And
Yeah. So just because
Yeah.
someone else finds something in a certain area
Dang.
doesn't mean you will, because it's the procedural generation, you know?
yeah. And I mean, I
Sorry.
didn't
Titan.
even realize it that I'd found these special magazines. I just tend to pick everything up, hence the reason I was complaining about being over encumbered. And then the next thing I noticed, oh hey, I can carry more stuff now. This
There are
is
also
cool. How
drinks
did
as
that
well.
happen?
I think you can
Yes.
you can drink to
Yeah.
They'll
increase.
give you.
So if you
Yeah.
are like out there scavenging, you can just have a couple of drinks. I don't know if they stack though. That's something that I haven't looked at. And that will increase your capacity. So there
Yeah,
are
you
little things you just got to
temporary increase,
read, guys. You just got to read all the little
Yeah.
things you pick up. I know that might be hard for
Yeah.
some people. A game making
Well,
you read.
You don't even got to
but yeah.
open it up though. It'll tell you like when you highlight
Yeah.
over it, it'll say
Yeah.
this will give you 5%, yada yada. So you don't even got to like.
Somebody needs to make a mod for
Who
Mental,
reads
a little
instructions?
suitcase that he can hold in his hands as he's walking along.
Yeah. I tend
mean,
to over encumber everything around me.
maybe-
Like, it's like,
Maybe if there was like a bar that kind of showed how much you were carrying and how much you could
Right.
carry, that was always there, maybe that would be a little bit easier for people to monitor how much
Yeah.
they're carrying. They'd be more
Well, I
mindful.
mean, it gives you a
or
ratio.
even an audio cue. So when you go to pick up something and you're almost encumbered at the end of your limit, the guy or the gal and your character would kind of go, "Oh, geez, I probably should."
It already
double check into
does.
this. Yeah.
It already
Well,
does.
I
the
didn't know that.
companions do that.
Your
Yeah, like
companion will.
Sarah's complaining at me
Yeah,
constantly.
Sarah
Do you really
will-
need to pick that up?
Yeah.
She's
Why are
gonna
you picking
divorce
up all
me
this
over that.
junk?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have selected this on any of your playthroughs, but I have the Adoring Fan.
Yes.
Now, the
Yeah.
Adoring Fan is making my journey through space incredibly enjoyable. He is constantly complimenting me. He's telling me how
Oh, yeah.
amazing I am.
He does.
He's telling me, fantastic landing. When I land the ship. No matter
It's
no matter
quite
who
Yeah,
I'm
right. It
ridiculous.
was. She was hard.
Yeah. No matter
Yeah.
who I'm killing, constant, in the middle
well, they
of
had it
this
coming.
epic battle. Great shot. Princess, because my name is Princess. Oh my god, it's just wild. It's
Do
so
you-
fun.
It's
Do you have
pretty
him
funny.
like following you? Is my question.
Oh
Do you have,
yes,
like he's
most
like your
definitely.
travelable like with. Okay, all right. So yeah, so you got him going around all with you because he only says that stuff. When I come in the ship or enter because I got him stationed.
No,
on
you got to
one of
take
my
him with
ships.
you at least one time, because it'll be a good time. I wish you could have more than
My
one
good friend
companion.
Dragonheart Yobi's in the chat. He says, I left Sarah's ass stationed at the lodge. She gets on my fucking nerves, and now when I finish with Coey, he's done too. Them two should be married.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Cole. Sarah's okay, but yeah, she does like it. I think she's probably the character with the most permissions to actually say stuff outside of the Adoring Fan. So yeah, she talks a lot.
So on the on that magazine note, Timothy Dixon, our good friend in the chat there, did say that apparently Maka does have a guide for it on YouTube. That
there you go.
some of them are in the same place in the game. So there you go.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, you can always cheat and go out and find them that way.
Oh, that's a pretty interesting question. Is that like, what do you guys think? Is that cheating?
Hey, you know what? Enjoy the game is my opinion.
Absolutely.
However you enjoy the game.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have endless amounts of time, so sometimes I'll look up a guide if I need to find something, and I don't have I don't play games all day, right? I got to work and I have a family. And
yeah,
kids,
exactly.
There's other things.
Real quick, hold your thoughts. Let's catch up with some super chats here real quick, and then we'll come back to our impressions. First one comes in via Doggy Dog. He dropped one earlier on tonight. Go ahead, Titan Drago.
Who needs football? We got the gaming fuse. Hey, I heard Aaron Rodgers got carted off the field. Oh,
damn!
And the Vikings lost this week, so I'm kind of raging. I know Doggy's teams got demolished. I only lost by 3. Sorry, Doggy.
My 49ers 30-7 over Pittsburgh. Yee. All right, I'll take that.
They're gonna look to be a pain in my ass here.
We got our good friend Sir X-Man. He drops $2 shortly thereafter. Doggy Dog. Go ahead, Titan.
I've never charged my Elite 2 controller so much. Even extended playthroughs, Sir X-Man? Nice.
There you go.
Yes, I'm guaranteed it lasts longer than the PlayStation ones, that's for sure. All right. And lastly, we have Angel Azrael 7 drops. I'm think it's an Aussie $5.
Great work, chat. I didn't know I could plug a powered USB hub into my Series X. It extends the USB ports. I have my controller plugged in.
Oh,
sure can.
Cool.
You sure can, yeah.
Fantastic.
Very nice. Yeah. The more you know.
Yeah.
All right. Titan, I don't know. Let's just jump up to you, I guess, to kind of just sum things up real quickly. What's the most impressive part of the game so far? How far are you in?
Well, before we hit those super chats, what were we talking about? Because I was going to say something. No, I lost my train of thought.
We were talking about looking up guides.
Yes.
Yeah, looking up guides. Is it cheating?
Is that cheating?
Or is it not?
No?
That wasn't what I was going to go into. It was something else.
Okay.
Oh, well, someone else take it while I try and gather my thoughts here.
Hey, you guys know I have the headset, and of course I have the controller. Shows you how much I like this game. I did break down and get this too.
Oh, if you like that, hold on. Hold on.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
What did you
Don't tell
say?
me she's got. Don't tell me she's
Show it
got a
again?
Starfield tattoo already.
This thing
Oh
is
my
like,
god! Look at that.
What is
So
that called?
cool. It's one
not
of
a
those
digipic.
credit key things.
Credit.
but-
Yeah.
Nice.
That's
yeah, yeah, and they're all uniquely coded. Did you guys know that? They all have their own specific number on them. I don't know if that's viewable or not, but
I can see it. Yeah, that's really cool.
yeah. And then the game code's on the other side.
Did you do the one mission where for the bank where it's one of the factions missions
Okay.
where you actually have
not.
to go to a ship that is in an electromagnetic field. You got to get some specialty parts for your ship just to fly in there.
Hmm.
And
Oh,
then so
that's-
this ship is like a mobile, bank basically. And
Wow.
I want to see someone else that played that mission to see if they did the same thing I did, because I played it kind of
Stole
safe,
all the
but there's,
money?
I guess, 3
Oh.
different ways to play it.
Okay.
And
Well, if there's the wrong way to play it, that's what I'll pick.
Okay,
Inevitably.
Doom.
I always
What
end
do you
up
got?
doing
What
the
do you
wrong
got to
thing,
show
so-
us? What do you got to show us?
What have I got to show? Mental will like this a lot. So I put it on my Twitter. You might not have seen it. But I have my own custom Starfield jacket
Oh,
with
look at that.
my name
nice.
embroidered, and this is what it
Where'd you
looks
get
like
that?
on the inside. And
That
then
is too
on the
cool.
back has Starfield.
Dang.
Oh,
Xbox
man,
send you
yeah, I
that?
do like that. Jeez.
Yeah, so I went to the Xbox Fan Fest
Mhm.
in Melbourne. And everyone who went
Nice.
got a voucher for the jacket. So you went on, typed in the name that you
Nice.
wanted embroidered on it, and you ordered it, and it
Damn.
came just in time for Starfield to come out. It was actually really good timing.
Oh wow,
That
that's
is
so
awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Damn.
I do like that. Very nice.
I
very
think
nice.
if you're looking for like Starfield like jackets,
Mhm.
Insert Coin Clothing actually has a really cool white one that I've seen, and also you guys are in America, so the Bethesda shop,
Mhm.
they've got some incredible stuff on there. The shipping is really expensive to Australia,
I bet.
so I don't think I'll be purchasing from there. But yeah, if you are looking for like
Well,
any jackets or anything like that.
Newf and I are in the Great White North in Canada, so it's expensive for us too. Generally
Oh, is
speaking,
it?
our exchange
Oh,
isn't as
fuck yeah.
bad as yours, but it's not great.
Okay.
So we'll see, but I'll have to
Yeah.
take a look, see what
Starfield.
they've got.
Jeez, it
Yeah.
cost me over $20 just to ship a controller to the Curry Cosmos who won the Mass Effect controller. It's like, what the hell?
Hold on,
Crazy.
20.
And she's only a
20
couple
Canadian?
provinces away. Yeah, like $20 Canadian, like just to ship it like 2 or 3 provinces away. I was like, geez Louise.
Wow,
Let me see how much that is in Australia.
you like
2 AUD.
Most of you guys
That
use,
is,
use
oh, that's
pound,
22. That's $22.
yeah.
22 pounds? Or do you do dollars? What is
No, we have
Dollars.
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 Australian
okay.
dollars.
Australian dollars.
Aussie dollars, yeah.
Dollary dues.
Yeah. I've still
think-
got
Dollary
some
dues!
Australian money somewhere from when I was there when I was a kid. But,
Oh, really? You've been to Australia? That's
yeah.
awesome.
I have, yeah. I'd like to go back one day, but
Oh, you should.
yeah, it's been a long time. I won't say how many years because that'll age me, but let's just say it's been more than a week or two since I've been there. but
It's been a hot
It
minute.
was a great trip. Yeah.
All right.
Amazing.
So, Noof, my question is, as far as the hate goes,
Yeah.
right? Because a lot of hate surrounding this game.
Mm-hmm.
What
Yeah,
other
I see,
game?
I see that Dingledorf Reforge is at it again, right?
I've only seen part of what he's and yeah, I'm creating a skit based solely upon that fool. That'll be coming to the show next week. So watch out for that. That should be funny.
Okay.
My question is, what other game has made people pretend that, a game is on PlayStation? And what other game has IGN put out that same exact article in 3 different ways on 3 different dates, stating that very same thing, only wording it in different ways? But they basically got 3 articles covering that single thing about people pretending that it's on PlayStation.
Right.
Yeah,
And you're
well,
and
somebody on PC.
people
put
are
the
giving this a
PlayStation-
4 out of 10 on the reviews. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, you know
Yeah,
what other
some-
games 4 out of 10s rank up to with, right?
My God.
You must be real. I'm sorry, you must be really out to lunch. Like, you haven't played the game, or you're just a hater. That's absolutely absurd.
Yeah, or you played 10 minutes and quit or whatever. But like I said, I'd have trouble understanding how anyone can give it less than an 8. But
Yeah.
you know, again, I'm biased. I really love the game, so it's hard to separate my thoughts from what other people can think. It's just somebody else's perspective, I guess. Does it really
Albert-
matter in the long run? No.
Look,
Albert-
there's a couple of things there. Sorry, Titan.
No, go ahead.
I will say, like, first of all, there's nothing worse than yucking someone's yum. You know, just because someone likes something doesn't mean that you have to make them have a bad time with it.
Yeah.
In regards to the review scores, who gave Starfield 4 out of 10?
Who? I'd have to look it up, but I saw it on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yucking someone's yum. So yuck means disgusting and yum means delicious. If you're not quite sure. Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah.
Never heard that before.
Look, the fact of the matter is, IGN gave Gollum 4 out of 10. So
Right.
if that's a 4 out of 10, you know,
Right.
I
Yeah.
don't think Starfield is anywhere near that.
Curry
At
calls
my
us a
level.
J Steph. I'm not sure which publication they're with, but I gave it 4 out of 10.
I don't
Yeah.
remember it being a
That's-
major
What
public.
was the reason? Did anyone
Ridiculous.
give us a reason why Ryan McCaffrey or Destin Liguri did not get the review code for IGN?
Don't know about Destin, but Ryan was on holidays at the time, so he was on vacation and he was out of the picture. Destin, who knows? Maybe they considered Destin too biased because he tends to like Xbox. So,
Right.
yeah, who knows?
Because obviously the quotes from Dan Stapleton leading up to his review of Xbox certainly were not very favorable. Yeah, certainly posted some stuff that would make him think that he just does not really like the platform a whole lot.
Yeah, well, that's fine. Like, I'll present you guys with something as well, though. Like,
Yeah.
Some of you know that I do write reviews with a company called Well Played,
Mhm.
wellplayed.com.au. It's an Australian gaming review website. I work with an incredible team. Now, you guys know I'm a massive Forza fan, right? And Forza Motorsport is coming out, and I'm actually not allowed to review it
Yeah,
on behalf of Well Played.
that
So
makes sense to me.
yeah. So there's a fine line between getting someone who has an alignment with a brand to review something and then someone who absolutely despises it. So you really do need to, get someone who's quite indifferent and open to any kind of game. Also, you wouldn't get me to review like something that is in the horror genre because I just don't play them. I wouldn't have a good time. So I was like, really, they've done the wrong thing by getting that person to review this. It's as simple as that. And it's clearly an internal problem with matching writers with games. So that's something that they
Yeah.
definitely need to look at.
I understand that. I think it's kind of the same issue, though, whether, you take a Destin who's clearly likes the brand, and then you take Dan who clearly doesn't like
Yeah.
the brand. You've got a bit of a fine line to walk. Maybe you have them both look at the game, and then you
They could
average
have
their
co-wrote
score.
something together if
Yeah,
there was a major
exactly.
issue. Yeah.
Exactly. It's
You're going
either way,
about
the
things kind
perception
of in a
isn't good.
wise way, in a smart way there. I don't think they put too much thought into this. Hey,
Yeah.
Johnny off the street,
How
you can
dare
write a
I
sentence,
think?
right? No? Oh, well, write this fucking Starfield review because no one gives a fuck.
Like
Yeah,
at the end of the day, like I feel like there was quite a bit of pressure on journalists to rate this quite highly,
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
obviously, like look at the feedback in the community about it, and even from my own experience from my own team, we had lovely writer James Wood from Well Played, and he did a great job. He went into a lot of detail about the things that he didn't like, and he went into detail about the things he didn't like. He gave it an 8.5 out of 10, but I think probably
fair.
but looking back on it, I think he probably would have landed closer to a 7, only because he was really unhappy with the fighting.
Really?
The combat.
Really?
Yeah, but the thing is, he went from reviewing Armored Core to Starfield.
Oh, okay.
So there's probably a little bit of that there that was kind of impacting the review there. But you know, he did say that he felt a lot of pressure to give it a good score. So
maybe. Oh, I'll be quick.
Okay.
Maybe it's the 30 FPS playing into that a little bit, because for me, I feel very much I can feel ID's influence in this game, in the way the gunplay works and the way it feels and whatnot. Like everything feels pretty crisp. I don't see that.
But you're playing at 100 frames per second.
Exactly. So it could be different if I might have to play a bit on Xbox and see what it feels like there.
Yeah, that would actually
night and day
difference.
If
you could,
that'll be my update for next week. I'll play a bit on Xbox.
Yeah,
and see what it's like.
definitely. If you have the opportunity to play both, I'd love to see side by side actual gameplay of how it actually looks.
Now, here's my question. Will DLSS, because mods are coming to console, will DLSS 3 point whatever the fuck come to console as a mod? And will I be able to get?
No.
What the hell's the point of bringing that fucking mods to console?
Yeah. But what you might have eventually is FSR 3.0. That may come down the road.
The broken shit 3.0?
You know what?
Well, FSR is not broken per se. It's
you
just
said it was broken on your PC.
Well, it was broken for NVIDIA. It worked perfectly fine for AMD, which is what is in the consoles, right? So it's entirely different situation. But I think it's questionable as to how much you'll get out of frame generation anyway. It's really only effective if you've got GPU overhead to spend, right? If your GPU's maxed out, odds are you're not going to get much from it. Will it get it to 60 FPS? Probably not. I think there's just a CPU issue too that's involved here, right?
Like, here's the weird part I don't understand. People are like, hey, 30 or 60? Well, there's a lot of fucking other numbers in between 30 and 60 that are still better than 30.
40 would be a great option for anyone that's got a 120 hertz TV. 40 is divisible. You could run at 40. I mean, that's a 30% improvement over 30, right? That's very noticeable, the difference between 30 and 40 frames per second. If they could get that running solid, that would be a great option. I'd like to see him at it. Give you the opportunity to lock in at that. We got to get Noof's thoughts here. He hasn't had a chance to go yet.
Yeah, you've
just let me. I'll just put it real quick. First of all, I finally had a chance to play the game, and what can I tell you? I absolutely am loving it. And this is coming from a person who notoriously isn't the biggest Bethesda RPG fan in the world. I really liked the Elder Scrolls Oblivion when it first came out. Wasn't so keen on the Fallout series, and still am not, to be honest with you. And didn't like Fallout 76 much at all. Was totally digging Skyrim, but I never really did kind of finish it. But what I feel here with Starfield is an amalgamation of all their work. Like, you can feel, obviously, their influence. It's very Bethesda, which is not a bad thing if you love Bethesda games, right? If you like Bethesda games, and certainly if you like Bethesda and you like space, then I think this is just a marriage made in heaven. You know what I mean? I think the combat is crisper than it's ever been. I mean, it certainly feels a lot tighter than anything that I've seen in, say, a comparable gun shooter with like Fallout. Graphically, I think the game, it doesn't raise a benchmark per se, but it's good. It's solid. There's nothing wrong with it. I think for the animation looks good. The planets look very distinctive. It's the little things about Starfield that make it bloom to me. It's like I said, it's all the little options about how you approach a mission and how you approach a combat scenario, different things, and what you pick up and what you lay down and then the crafting and stuff. Like there's a lot of different things to do, which makes this game really good. But you know what? At the end of the day, the Metacritic, like, as Xbox fans and people rooting for the brand, sure, we'd all been kind of hoping, man, like, we wanted this to be well up there into the 90s, just because I think it almost needed that. But with saying that, the most important critic is the one there is no critic for, and that is the fact that I'm seeing Xbox fans out there on their PCs or their Xbox, wherever they choose to play it, really loving this game, genuinely loving the game.
Oh, yeah.
And you don't play something you don't love. And every time I turn my Xbox on, most of my friends are playing Starfield. So what does that tell you? They're obviously enjoying the fuck out of it. There's people in this chat right now who've already close to 100 hours, if not more. Well up in the levels. Everybody I hear is enjoying the game. So there's got to be something gripping about it. So to have that small percentage of people go out there, well, this game just didn't jive for me. That is fine. It's not going to jive for everybody. We get that. But the bottom line is the majority have to speak here, right? And the people that are being honest about it and are not just trying to, dog shit this game for the sake of getting a hit on their channel or being, I'm the guy who doesn't like Starfield. It's got to be crap. Well, one person thinking it's fucking crap or average, because there's no way this game is crap, period. That if you're saying this game is crap, you're full of crap, because this game is definitely not that. This is far and above an average game. Whether it's this game of the generation, whether it's the game of the year, those things are all debatable, but that's going to come from each person that reviews it and plays it. And again, the main critic for me is seeing when I turn the first night that Starfield launched, the early week, there was 30, almost 40 people playing, I think, the first night on my Xbox. Almost every night successfully since, there's been well over 20. Right? We've seen 6 million people already. That's so far engaged. Think about that. I don't care what critics you want to talk about. Those are some impressive ass numbers. And this is the kind of game that's very intriguing. Like I said, I mean, one little mission right off the hop for me, okay? And I'll explain it to you. So I'm on this flight mission. It's early in the game. It's the one I think we have to fly out to this. You got to go through an asteroid field, and you have to fly out to this satellite, which has some information, because you need that information to track down the guy that you're supposed to go after. So I'm flying in. The girls literally give me a hint. We could go in guns blazing, or we can go quietly and avoid these pirates altogether. So I am trying to avoid the pirates. I'm like, maybe I'm not leveled up enough or whatever, my ship, so I'm going in and I'm going very quiet, and I turn the engines down and everything. But I'm going sort of direct. So they see me. And guess what happens? They come after me and they blow the living shit out of me, right? I didn't even have a chance to react. Next time around, replay the mission, and I go around the asteroids. So I went quietly, but this time I used them as sort of cover. And I went around to the backside of the satellite, downloaded what I need, got the mission, got the fuck out of there, and went and found my objective. And that's very small thing, but it's those little things that go, that's cool. The fact that I'm not just going, it's not this linear thing where it's going to play out the same way. Like you take a Call of Duty game, right? You play the mission, and if you don't play it a certain way, you're going to die every single time, because they have it set up to kind of lead you down a certain funneled path. But with these games, it's kind of like you take it on however you want, and you approach a battle differently the way you want, and it's really cool. All I can say is so far, I mean, I'm not going to give it a rating because I haven't played it that far, but I am enjoying this damn game, and I'm planning to play it when I get off of this damn podcast.
You and me both.
That is a sign of a great game. When you think about it when you leave work, when you think about it afterwards, when you play it, there's no more Metacritics than you need to know. But like I've always said, and everybody will say, and Doom will say, and Titan will say, and you will say, Mental, and people in this chat will probably agree. If you're going to pay attention to a rating, then at least pay attention to the people you respect, admire, and align themselves with very similar games as you normally like. Don't take the rating from a guy who normally rates 8 out of 10 games he plays are sports games, and then he finally plays an RPG and goes, game's absolutely shit.
Exactly.
No, that's like, Doom loves racing games. She's likely to give a racing game a bit of a higher review no matter what it is, because she loves the genre, so she might be a little more forgiving. Whereas perhaps, Joe Blow, who can't stand Forza and Gran Turismo, is going to play the next racing game and go, these games are boring. We're going around the same track. This is the whole point, right? And this is a debate that's going to rage till the end of time. So at the end of the day, let's not get our panties worked up to the knot because it's sitting at an 85 meta or whatever. I said about an 88. It was where it's going to land. At the end of the fucking day, I don't care. And at the end of the day, all you idiots out there are doing it for clicks and hits. You're the same idiot you were yesterday. You're going to be an idiot again tomorrow, and nobody's buying your bullshit. So you can take it somewhere else because we're not following. Unless you, again, if you're going to do a sensible review, back it up. Give us reasons why you don't like what you don't like. And if it sounds valid enough, we'll go, you know what? That's your opinion. That's cool. Not everybody likes Gears of War. Not everybody likes Halo. Not everybody likes God of War. That's cool. But at least back it up. You know, when you see those bloody Metacritic scores, those zeros, and then like you see this bullshit thing, it's like that stuff's got to go. Those don't even should exist. As soon as that number goes up on the screen and they can't back it up with at least 4,000 words to describe why that game sucks, exit. Get it out of there. Period.
Yeah.
Bottom
Clean
line.
it out. Yeah.
But anyway, I am loving the game. I'll just leave it there. Any further thoughts? Look, is it disappointing to me? Is it everything I'd hoped? I don't know. I'm not that far along in it yet. I have so much to discover, so I'll answer that question in a couple of months. But so far, man, my underwear up my ass with Starfield explanations on it. I love it. It's good.
Yeah.
So
it is good.
You started mentioning upon that, and Albert G also asked it in the chat. You know, he's mentioning, you know, did it meet players' expectations? And now I gotta ask, why the fuck does that matter? First of all, and let me explain why it should not matter. Why the fuck any game shouldn't matter about players' expectations? Because each player in the fucking world has a different expectation. Therefore, there's no way to measure it accurately. You cannot measure expectation. Everyone's is different. So that shouldn't weigh into the consideration of how good a game is. And this happens a lot with Xbox game, and part of why the Xbox is more harshly scored than PlayStation, because you have these unfair, you know, questions and comparisons, and it's just Xbox games are rated differently than PlayStation in many ways. And this is just one of the things that I'm pointing out. And this is something that, you know, PlayStation fans, they're all going to say things like this. Why? Why are they all going to point toward things that can't be measured? Because that's all they have. Because they look at the data. I mean, you look at Twitter, you cannot go through your feed without seeing 10, 20 Starfield posts within the last day. It's ridiculous. They're all over. I'm like dodging them because I kind of
sorry.
Right. Well, I don't want to get spoiled. All right, post away, but you know, but that shows the power of the game, right? I'm just gonna do.
You know what, Titan?
Nothing weaving.
That's a great point, though. Like, don't ruin it for people. Like, if you're posting something about the end, like a screenshot about, you know, the main storyline, put a, you know, you can do that warning thing over the top.
Spoiler,
because no one wants this game ruined for them. So yeah, please do be mindful when you are posting stuff that it could be a spoiler for someone.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm still upset I can't land on a gas giant, but you know, you can't get everything you want.
Well, my wife fell asleep on my rear end last night.
Oh my. Jeez.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
There's a gas giant for you.
Yeah, wow.
It just shows the level of critique that, you know, I find that stuff hilarious. It's funny, but
why are there craters on this gas giant?
But to go back to what we were talking about, it meeting expectations. I think everyone expects a functional game with a good story. And so far, I think we're getting that. There are some things that are, you know, the typical like Bethesda bugs and all that kind of stuff, and it's funny, but the game works. It's a good story, and that deserves more than a 4 out of 10. You know,
absolutely.
Everything else for me is just a bonus. Like this is just probably my personality. Like I don't go in with real specific things that I want out of a game. Like, yes, I wanted to be able to fly in space. Yes, I wanted to, you know, wear cool astronaut outfits. Like, but I'm not going to I'm not going to be like, oh, there's not enough variety in what I'm wearing, so this is a crap game. Like, at the end of the day, I've played a lot of this game, so it's clearly doing something right. And a lot of people have played a lot of this game. So
speaking of outfits, gotta ask you real quick: did everybody get the really cool outfit that's in the lodge downstairs in the basement?
Not yet.
I had to go get that one.
My lock picking isn't good enough for it.
You don't even need a lock pick.
Cheese it. You can cheese it.
Apparently, if you look through the crack in the glass at a certain
Oh,
angle, push the button, it opens.
Yeah,
yes.
you can just you can get it.
Yes.
Wow.
Because it requires an
lets
expert
you
level
pick it
lock
up.
pick, and you can literally just look at it at a certain angle and press the button, and the cabinet opens. That's how I got it.
See?
Oh man, I hope they don't patch that.
Get it now! Get it now before they do.
Get it now.
Okay, I'll be right back.
But yeah, like if you,
I didn't even know there was a basement.
In the lodge.
Yeah, so in the lodge, when you go through the lodge, there's like an elevator or something, whatever. I think off to the left side, and it'll take you down to a lower level.
Yeah, it's just a
staircase.
You just go in the door, you turn right, and then it's your first right.
And if you keep going, so actually, and this isn't a spoiler because you can find it. There's a part of like underneath the main pretty town of Constellation is the well, and that is it's underground, and like people aren't really talking about this very much, but there's a massive disparity between the people who actually work in the mines compared to the people like Sarah, like up in the fancy offices, looking at space magic, like there's a lot of inequality there, which is really interesting. And I love it looking around, like pay attention to the posters. The posters are really telling, and some of the like journal entries and things like that. It's so well documented, and definitely interesting.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. No one is really ever talking about that, but it's like a different world under there.
Right?
It is pretty interesting. Yeah. I mean, I had a lot of things that I had preconceived notions in my mind as to what this game would be. And quite frankly, it hasn't really met a lot of them, but does it matter? Right? Like, I didn't know what to expect. So, I mean, hey, I'm just happy it's the first Bethesda game that I haven't got stuck inside a rock. Hey, that's fantastic to me. Like, expectations exceeded right there. I'm good, right? I could jump on a rock and not fall into it. I haven't sunk into the ground or
one
anything.
picture of a glitch I saw where it looked like the guy's head was up the girl's ass when she was at the. I don't know if somebody saw that picture.
Yes,
and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, oh look, it's the human centipede in space.
Yeah. Oh man, I did have Lynn start sinking into the floor in my spaceship. It was like she was in quicksand. She just slowly started going down. It was pretty funny. I should have recorded that actually.
The thing is, we're managing our expectations. Like that doesn't make the game broken. There's things that need to be patched, but I wouldn't say that the game is unplayable. And the fact is, like I've said this before, like people are addicted to this game. I don't want to play anything else. I have to like rip myself away, like to do other things and play other games.
And that's a hard thing to do when you have followers. Them followers have to map or direct themselves around without getting stuck. And how many games in the past has that happened with? A lot, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So it's pretty impressive that you got all these followers on on a lot of these planets that are procedurally generated and stuff, and they're still able to make their way around without getting stuck and things like that, as well as I can't tell you how many, because that's where it seems to get tricky, was when you're on a story mission or something and you got followers, because man alive, one of a billion things can go wrong, right? That's got to be like the developer nightmare, like how many ways that can ruin the experience. And I haven't had any of that. That's impressive.
Yeah,
quickly, I got a couple more super chats here.
Oh, go ahead then.
Let's get to these real quick, and then we'll come back to you, Mental. We got one coming in earlier from DJ Brutodos. It's good to see you here. It's been a while, sir. He drops $5. Go ahead, Titan.
Boom, kaboom, Drago, you mother. Doom always cutie. Men too tall. Enjoying
Well, I am
Starfield gaming
6'1",
cubes
so-
in the background. Awesome.
Nice. And DJ Berto Doss comes back at us again with another $2.
Whatever you do, no, hold it till the end of the show. Yes, I concur.
I think that was the gas.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about the
Gas
ass and the
giant.
gas. Yeah, the gas giant.
Yeah.
We all know I have a history of
Very
farting on podcasts, don't we?
So what I was going to say, if I can follow that motion, but what I was going to say is there was some speculation, I think, by John Linneman that might be part of the reason for some of the loading screens. Is it's a reset point for the followers. So if they do get stuck, because how many times have you got back to your ship and your followers nowhere in sight?
Yeah.
I that happens to me a lot, but you go through that
Or they're
quick loading
talking.
screen and boom, they're right there. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be
it's-
talking during a fight, and then you try and find them, and they're not there.
Yeah.
But
So I
the
mean,
one-
it's an interesting theory. It could be very valid though too. I mean, although why do you need load screens 10 feet apart? I don't know, but
So
anyway.
speaking of the bug side of thing, right? Because even here, having Cybergunder, my game has frozen my Xbox 5 times since early access. Has it happened to anyone on the panel or chat? For me, so far, no. But have you guys had any groundbreaking bugs so far? Or is it just the usual, typical like clipping or weird faces or stuff like that sort of thing? Anybody?
My
No,
Xbox has only
nothing-
crashed once on it.
I
It
have had-
dashboarded me.
Yeah, I've had the game crash, I think, twice on PC, but the second time was when I was messing with mods, so
Mm-hmm.
hard to say if it was the game or the mod.
Yeah,
but
see,
I
that's
had it
another thing
crash
as
once
well.
for
Yeah,
sure on
you
its
never
own.
know the interaction
Right.
between
Yeah.
mods and the game at this point.
Yeah.
Also, when mine did crash, it was I quick resumed it, right? So I wonder if it's something to do with that because
Yeah.
it crashed shortly after the
Could
quick
be.
resume.
Could be.
Yeah. Actually, I did have one moment where I did go into quick resume and it wouldn't load the game.
Mhm.
But I think that's a quick resume problem because I've had that before with
Right.
like Forza and Halo and stuff. So yeah.
Right. Yeah, no, it's been remarkably stable for me. And like I said, no real game breaking bugs. Haven't got caught inside of anything where I didn't save for the last 2 hours or anything like that. Geez, that happened a lot in Fallout 3. You think I'd have learned my lesson after the first time, but nope. Yeah, it's so I'm happy to say that's much improved too. Game's been good.
It's been great. Okay, so where do we take it from here? I mean, I guess. Let me see. Like, what? I mean, so like, where does Bethesda go from here, essentially, or what's next for Starfield? Is it a self-contained game? Is there DLC? I mean, how do you top this? Do you feel that they're happy with the outcome? Do you feel that Microsoft is happy with the reception? I mean, so far, like, is this game, is it good enough? It's going to sell a lot of subscriptions, the Game Pass, or what? Like, are we seeing that in the social media spaces and stuff where people are jumping into the Xbox ecosystem through the PC or buying a new console to play this game? Because I will say, and I think some of you guys might have caught my Twitter post a few days ago, that I was very disappointed with the fact that, one, I walked into my local Walmart to buy a copy of this game. They didn't have any, which I thought, that's crazy. You don't have it on launch day, and this is one of the biggest games that they've launched in years. And I didn't see any promo throughout the local retailer. There was no banners, no posters, no nothing to even let people know that this game existed. Well, like, what is it? So for me, I know what it is. I know what I'm looking for. But what about the average person walking into a store? If they don't know Starfield exists, they don't know how to get it. You know what I mean? But yet I'm seeing Spider-Man 2 stuff all over the place. See their consoles in the shelves. I see like little banners and little things of, like, once again, what is going on, and why does Sony continue to sort of one-up Xbox when it comes to sort of promoting their damn games?
What is that?
Look at that. See, he's got it. Right? I don't know. Like, what's your thoughts? Disappointing for me. That's all I can say. Not the end of the world, but still very disappointing, you know?
I actually, in Australia, I saw Starfield on trams and I saw it on buses.
Mhm.
I saw it.
Okay.
I saw it. There was like small. I posted it on Twitter. I actually got quite a bit of traction. I was interested. Most people complaining how there was nothing, and it's like, do you guys even go outside? Because I'm not sure you do.
I try not to.
But yeah, because I saw a stand and I was really excited about it. So I was like, I wonder what it looks like in other places. Like some people had like different food branding and things like that. I think it was probably just a little bit too niche. And I know lots of people were like, why isn't it, on the the box of the new Xboxes they've released, or like why aren't they putting a special edition console out? And then we saw the wrap that they brought out, which is genius.
Yeah, love that
and
stuff.
yeah, so yeah, I think there's a lot of cogs in the marketing wheel, and potentially they just some of them just missed. And I think that because this is Starfield's a marathon, not a race, and I think that is included in the marketing. I think we have a lot to look forward to seeing in this game, and I think it will continue to get fans over the years. So I'm not sure what you're comparing it to, because I haven't seen much marketing in regards to Xbox and their releases at all.
Well, that's just it.
That's the problem.
That's the problem. That's exactly, you just summed it up. You're not seeing it. I'm not seeing it.
Like,
But I
it's
walk
not
into
just
stores.
Starfield.
No, it's
Yeah.
not just Starfield, but that's the
You're
whole
right.
point. I'm walking in the stores, and I look, when Nintendo launches a game out in front of the Walmarts, there's these big banners stuck over the car posts of the new Mario game, and there's a new, like, the Switch has been out for how many years, and I still see like Switch advertisements all over the place. And I walk in, and it's this all over the place, and Sony's all over the place. And then I walk in, and it's starting to feel like Xbox is this one little section that gets shifted off to the back of the store. Like, how much longer before I got to go in the back warehouse to find an Xbox?
At the end of the
logo,
day, they're still playing catch up in regards to that kind of thing.
Right.
Nintendo and Sony, they've had many, many years to, parade their games around in the real world, and Nintendo will always win in my eyes.
I don't entirely buy that, because when the 360 was at its height, my God, that shit was everywhere. 360 was everywhere. It was just more popular
Think
than
of the
anything.
Halo launch parties.
All over the place. Launch parties, midnight launches, the
Yeah.
banners, the ads, the commercials. Like, you go out into a retailer, and it was like, 360s everywhere. I said, damn, but I don't know what happened since then.
Yeah.
I probably because there was some issues with the 360. Also, it was not like that in Australia. It was predominantly like that in America, and I think that that's where a lot of the fan base has come from, because they did go all out with the 360.
And that's an interesting point, because when you were saying you've seen advertisements for it on whatever, right? Like, you don't see that here, and that might be because the Xbox brand in North America is pretty strong, and maybe they're spending advertising dollars overseas that we don't see, right? And
For sure.
think perfect example is what you just said. So maybe in Europe and elsewhere, there's more advertising going on, and we're just not seeing it here.
We think Canadians are stupid. They won't recognize anything. They're like Terrence and Phillip.
I was just in GameStop the other day with my daughter, and they had a whole bunch of them on the wall, but there was no big banners or anything, nothing like that. The guys in the store were playing it. The guys and girl that was there as well, they were playing Starfield, and their opinions were, it was a really good game, but no fancy advertising, that's for sure.
But I think at the end of the day, like, I don't know if was it GameStop that you went to, like, so GameStop owns what we have, which is EB Games, which is our main.
We used to be EB.
Electronic Boutique.
Yeah.
And look, they're on a hiring freeze, so I doubt that they're splashing out money for these kinds of things. I don't. Yeah, it's and that's why a lot of the events at game stores stopped, because they just don't have the money for it. That's what I think. But you're right. Like, our scope of what we see is like very limited to our country. Like, the internet does help, but like, I wish I would have snapped a photo, but I was in Sydney, and it was just like it's very busy there, and I just didn't have my phone out. And so you're right. They probably are spending more money overseas, but are we seeing that in our, social medias? Probably not. And then people like get it fixed in their mind that, they're not spending any money, like, oh, my friends aren't playing this game, so it must be crap, or my friends think it's crap, so but it's people get like really fixed, and they kind of get tunnel vision in regards to games sometimes, which I hate.
Fair enough.
Funny thing, Cyber Gunter says, how come I don't see marketing for Smite, Titan Drago, or Iceman? Answer my question. So,
Titan Drago is the marketing for Smite. The man should have been on their fucking payroll. He's mentioned Smite more times in this podcast than has been mentioned anywhere in the history of gaming.
Tell you what, I've seen just as much Smite marketing as I have Starfield marketing on the Xbox dashboard. I've seen Smite on the Xbox dashboard like multiple times over the last month because they had their new season. They had Smite gem sales, 2 of them. They had the 10 million gem giveaway. So yeah, Smite's been on fire with their marketing lately. That's funny you say that.
We got one more super chat. This comes in via our good friend Dragonheart Yobi. He draws $5. Go ahead, Titan. Read that one out.
I'm calling it now. In less than 10 years, Bethesda will announce a Starfield MMO. They struck magic with 76 and Elder Scrolls Online. Oh boy, that's a good.
That's a possibility, Dragonheart. No doubt about it.
Yeah. I would not be surprised at all.
Okay.
Like I said last week, I wouldn't be surprised if it turns into good night, honey.
Hello.
My daughter.
But it's safe to say from the chat tonight and from everybody on this panel, we are enjoying the heck out of Starfield, and nobody has any regrets about the time spent in this universe so far.
No.
I mean, the closest I can compare, because my favorite sci-fi game to this point and still is the Mass Effect series, and Mass Effect 2 is still a pinnacle in my opinion. But again, Mass Effect is like God of War of space RPGs essentially, because it is a little more narrative based. There isn't freedom to do whatever you want. It wasn't meant to be, and I hope the new one is not going to be like that either. I hope the new, Mass Effect is going to be a little more linear in its approach and goes back to doing what worked for the first 3 games in the series, and not so much what Andromeda was trying to do and then kind of went off the rails. But I'm loving what Starfield is, what they're trying to do with it. I'm sure there'll be improvements and things to come. It's a massive universe. As I said, you look at your friends list, everybody's playing it. People are talking about it. It's getting hype, it's getting traction, whether it's negative or positive. Sometimes the negatives aren't always a negative, because in itself, the fact it's on the lips and minds and hearts of all the lovers and all the haters tells you that this game has got people loving it, fearing it, everything in between. I just think it's sad that there's a faction of gamers out there that will not enjoy this or refuse to buy a PC or an Xbox product to go and enjoy this masterpiece, this fantastic, labor of love. Because you could tell there is a lot of love and detail that's gone into this game. There's, you can feel the sweat equity that has gone into this game. It's been a long time coming, and is it perfect? But very few games are. But is it a damn good, like I said, RPG that hits a lot of the buttons that I think many of us had hoped for? Absolutely. I mean, the fact you can play it from first person, you can play it from third person. Again, you can go to different planets and you can explore to a vast extent. Maybe you can't explore every single nook, cranny, and rock that's on every single planet. And to be honest, I got to say, if you're the person that literally has that much time on your hands, you can go to the ends of every single planet in this game, explore every nook and cranny. I'm sorry, you need a better life, because that doesn't even sound fun. Well, I need to go off 500 miles in that direction to see if there's a blade of grass over there that maybe they forgot some textures on.
Noof, you gotta realize, these are from PlayStation fanboys, and they're used to playing walking simulators, man.
No, you know what? I actually heard something funny. That the points of view, the camera angles that you can change, so like the first person, third, over the shoulder, and then like third.
How is everybody playing, by the way?
No, I heard that it was to make people who were coming from PlayStation a little bit more comfortable, because how it's on the kind of like the left hand side,
right?
Like instead of in the middle, so it's like God of War.
There might be a point, yes. Well, wasn't
Yeah,
somebody
no,
created
that's
the intro
that's
screen
funny.
and added it or modded it? Was it the game the other day to put the PlayStation intro on the start of the game? You see that one?
Oh, what? Why?
Yeah, somebody literally like modded it to the point where you know that PlayStation intro they do for all their games now, the XO
Yeah,
and all that stuff, and they actually like
that's
added it
what I
to the
was going
front
to
of the
say
game. I was like,
previously.
what
Yeah,
the hell?
yeah, the whole
Did that make you sleep
PlayStation
better at
intro.
night, my friend? Because you somehow added just
And
like
that's what I was asking earlier. What other
damn.
game has had that impact that made people want to do
Yeah,
that? I don't remember one.
Yeah.
What an
Yeah,
impact.
don't see Xbox guys trying to add an Xbox logo to the front of God of War, but
Or
you know,
Spider-Man.
no, but
or
I'm going to
Spider-Man.
now.
Oh, you know what? I saw a TikTok
Started
because I think
something.
on the original Xbox or Xbox 360, because Xbox had Spider-Man first.
It
Have you
did.
seen that?
Mhm.
Way back,
Well,
way
yeah,
back in the day.
Way
going
back in
back
the
a long way.
day.
Yeah,
Yeah, probably so. Well, we had almost every Spider-Man game up until Activision dropped the license, and then Sony went and scooped them up.
Yeah.
You
yep,
know,
So
yep.
I don't know,
so
because people keep going on about that kind of stuff. Just like, guys, have fun. Whatever
Yeah,
box you
but
like, I don't care.
right.
Just have fun.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Fun per second.
Yeah,
Hey, she's
Not
got her
there you
food
go.
jacket
per
on
second.
now. Doomcutie. Look at that. That's awesome. That's
Yeah,
great.
Oh, my
Uh,
jacket. Yeah, it's a bit
yeah,
big, but like it's
that's
you
all
know,
right.
it's a
You
vibe.
got
all
I don't
right.
a
normally
big
Yeah,
really
room, you
go
know.
that's
for
You know, it
cool.
gets cold at night. You might want to put a sweater
Uh,
on under there or something like that. You know, look at that.
Absolutely.
Captain
that's
Doomcutie
so
reporting
cool.
to the bridge.
So cool.
Huh?
I'm
Yeah,
obsessed.
I feel like we got like Lieutenant
I'm just
O'Hara and
jealous.
Captain Picard down here.
Yeah, no doubt.
Any further thoughts then before we kind of wrap up the Starfield, topic? I mean, we could go on about this forever, and I'm pretty sure podcasts will probably go on about this forever. And it's certainly going to be a topic of conversation when the Game Awards come. Will it get nominated for Game of the Year? That's one of the big questions I'm already starting to wonder now because of the Metacritic, and there's been so many big heavy hitters rating-wise this year. Will this one even be in that conversation? Well, I don't even know at this point. And if it's not, I think it's a tragedy. It's not, but with it being a lower Metacritic score, if it even became Game of the Year, then you'd have another faction of people going, "Oh, well, how did that game become Game of the Year when Zelda's 95 and Baldur's Gate is
Yeah,
92?" So,
Death
I don't know.
Stranding was nominated, and it was a lower meta score.
That's
So is
right.
it possible it could be nominated? Yeah, I think so.
hmm
But you got some ridiculously low scores that have brought that average down a bit. I think there's an awful lot of nines and tens out there too, though, that will
Right.
likely nominate the game, right?
hmm
Those it all comes down to who votes for what and who wants to nominate. I think that's how it works anyway. Uh, they all submit their nominations, and whichever games get the most get nominated.
How many can get nominated for Game of the Year? There's got to be a cap
6
to
or
it, right?
something.
What do they
There's
normally
a
do?
5
Five
or
or
6.
six?
Yeah.
5 or 6
5 or
normally. I
6.
think it's usually 5,
All
but
right.
it could be
So-
six.
There's usually
Yeah.
a token
does
indie
get
game in there
nominated.
too.
That's one.
Yeah.
Zelda, that's 2.
What was your first one?
There's
Hogwarts. Did you say Hogwarts?
Hogwarts.
Hogwarts might be in there. Yeah, that was
yeah.
early contender.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Probably RE4, like Resident Evil 4 has probably got a good shot at it.
right.
I know
Baldur's
Doomcutie,
Gate
that's one of
3.
your favorites games, right?
I'm gonna go with
RE4,
that's not gonna get
Sean?
nominated. What about
Yeah.
Forza coming up?
There's Diablo 4.
Diablo 4,
Don't forget
definitely.
that one. That's another phenomenal
Definitely.
game that
Oh.
scored pretty high.
So that's 4.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Forza. Maybe what this game just came out? We just mentioned it a little bit ago. RPG
Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate. So that's
Yeah.
5.
Yeah, that'll be in there for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We still got
Honestly,
Spider-Man to
I-
come, which I suspect is going to be a fairly high scored
What's
game.
the cutoff?
What's
the
usually
cutoff date?
November.
First week of November, I
November?
think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually because
Okay.
I think the show goes
Yeah,
down. What
so
is it?
it'll
Just
make
early
it.
week of December, last November. So it's got to be with the first week of November. So this one makes the cutoff, no doubt.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, Spider-Man.
Wasn't
will be
it?
in there for sure.
It's funny. Wasn't it Halo that was Halo last year that missed the cutoff?
No, it was Forza that actually made the cutoff, but due to the way that Jeff wanted everything, everybody had already sent them in, their nominations in. Then Forza came out. It was awesome. And then what people didn't understand is they could change their nominations after and include it
Yeah,
because it
Hi-Fi Rush
technically was
should be
out
in
in
there.
time. Yeah, that's another one possibly too. Yeah.
Mhm.
And so
Oh yeah,
what, no one just never
Hi-Fi
did
Rush.
that
Yeah, everybody was talking about that early in the year, and that was up to a pretty high scoring game. God damn, yeah, that's been
So
like
that'd be
it's been a
6.
pretty decent
It's
year.
been a crazy year. It's been
Mhm.
a crazy year.
And it's not over yet.
No,
So
yeah,
Yeah.
October is going to be absolutely nuts. My lord, brace yourself, brace your wallets, and yeah, take a vacation. You're going to need it. It's a
Yeah.
great problem to have, man. We knew the glut was going to start rolling in because all of these post-COVID games, a lot of games that just missed their dates back then are starting to come to the finishing touches are coming on a lot of them. So that's why we're starting to see, I think, a little bit more than we're used to. So yeah, I'm excited for the next that RoboCop game, which got pushed to November. So that actually
that'll
looks pretty
probably
good.
miss it though.
They've already extended it, so I got a feeling it'll come out as long as they don't push it out next to something
No,
that's
no, no,
really
no.
really
It'll
big.
miss out for Game Awards.
Oh yeah, oh well, I'm pretty sure RoboCop's not going to
Nomination
score to the
wise,
point
yeah.
that it gets nominated. I'd be shocked if it did, but I just want to play a cool looking RoboCop game. It definitely looks cool. Yeah, we talked about
So
Harry
many
Potter.
games.
Yeah, there's been a lot of games this year, a lot of great ones, a lot of ones that certainly have been consuming our time. Anyway, before we get going here, I guess a couple of quick notes. We do have some great games coming to Game Pass in the next couple of days, including Liza P. For those of you who don't know, that actually means Pinocchio. It's basically a dystopian take, I guess, on the old lore. The demo's been out for a while, I think it was, and now the game is just about ready to go, and it is dropping on Game Pass, along with a real cute game that I'm totally excited to play called Party Animals, which comes out, I think, on the 20th of the month. So a couple of big hitters coming down on the Game Pass side. Like we don't have enough time as it is, right? So what do you guys think about those couple of titles?
Yeah, Sarah Bond's done a great job of showing off Party Animals. I think
Yes.
she's a bit of a fan. She probably plays like with some of her family, which is always really cute to see. I love seeing that side of especially business people in the industry. It's so much fun to see. But yeah, Lies of P, I think is going to actually be too difficult for me to play. I'm not really good at games like Elden Ring, Dark Souls. So and people are saying that it's similar to that. So I probably
It's
won't.
kind of a Souls game, I've heard.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I'll give it a go, but I don't know if it's going to be something I'll invest a lot of time into if it's too tricky for me. I know that's it's such a like a bad thing to say, but like I play games to like have fun, not to make myself feel bad about myself. So
Not to get angry. That's why I quit playing Destiny. I found I was mad at
yeah,
the game
okay.
more than I was enjoying it at the end. So my wife was always, "Why you even play that game?" Because she could hear me cursing it out. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
but yeah, I just finally thought it's not worth it anymore. But yeah, I'll definitely give it a try. It's in Game Pass, like Liza P. It looks great. Like it looks really interesting.
It's got great, it's great graphics, great
Yeah,
aesthetic.
like I kind of feel like I want to like it, but whether or not I will, it's hard to say. So I'm kind of the same way. I just those types of games and my
That
old
new Lords of the
figures
Fallen
don't
game is coming
match.
out too, and that looks absolutely insane.
Yeah, that's another one.
I've
So
got
many games, so little time.
Another fellow Aussie in the chat, our good friend Stick Figure, he has a question for Doomcutie.
What does Doomcutie think about the Aussie accent on Starfield?
Look, it's not bad. I've heard much worse, but it's always really interesting. It's kind of like an out of body experience, almost hearing Australian accents in media, whether it be in gaming or even in movies. Like, I don't know if people with an American accent feel the same way, or even a British accent, simply because there's just so much media, with that accent around. But I think, yeah, the popularity of the Australian accent is increasing. So I look forward to hearing it more because then it'll be more normalized for me. But yeah, it is quite the treat.
It's been my favorite accent since I was there. Like just when I was a kid, I've always liked the Australian accent. So
Oh,
Yeah,
nice. Well,
it's
thank
my
you.
favorite. Yeah, it's
I
my
can't
favorite.
help it.
Yeah. Well, I can't help sounding like this either, so
No,
I don't know
but
if that's
I
good
will
or
say,
bad, but
I want to hear
I will.
Mental do a skit as an Australian. That's what I want to hear.
the funny thing is, I did pick it up. Like my friends were when I got back and I'm going back to school and stuff. They're like, "Why do you sound like that?"
I'm
I'm like,
sorry. I was
"What?"
in Australia.
Yeah, I was there for a month. What can I say? Young and impressionable. Picked
It's
up a lot of that stuff.
but I would say I don't have a very strong Australian accent. I have probably quite a neutral one. Like I'm sure you guys have been in party
Yeah.
chats or even heard, like Risk It for the
Oh,
Biscuit
man.
and Jed and I, Pete. Like they're both Aussie guys, but I'd say like Pete's is probably a lot more Australian or a little bit more like rough compared to Riskets with some like pronunciation and stuff like that. So yeah, just like in America, the accents differ, and same with people,
Sure.
in the UK, same thing. So yeah,
No, we were
it's
on
just we
the
don't get a
West
lot of
Coast.
airtime.
Like, is it different, like from someone from Perth versus Sydney, or
Mildly,
is it?
mildly.
Yeah.
I'd say
So
only
that's like
a person
Canada.
who lives in Australia would notice it, I think.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Canada, you can tell someone from the Far East versus the West Coast is quite different.
Well, yeah.
I love the way people from Boston talk, man.
For
From
those
Boston.
of you who ever come to Canada,
Yeah.
I would advise you to avoid my neck of the woods because I actually speak real English, but I don't know what the hell Newfoundlanders speak most of the time. But it sounds a lot like this. Yes, you getting down there, buddy boy? James, my son, I tell you, we're going to play some games there tomorrow night, right? Yes, my son, I tell you, that's what we're going to do.
Is that like from South Park? Is that where
These sound like they're worse in South Park. It's pretty crazy. There's some pretty heavy accents coming out of Eastern Canada, that's for sure. Yeah.
I think the hardest person to follow that I know from Twitter was Daz, man. When he gets worked up, he can get hard to understand sometimes, man.
Yeah. A lot of times you're what? Yeah. Shout out to UK Dazzers. Awesome guy, but yeah, he was hard to understand at times. Oh my god.
He can get on some tirades, man. We're just like, whoa, slow down there, buddy. I'm like 2 sentences behind you, man.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I think some people, Australians talk quite fast as well. So yeah, I have to kind of slow down and enunciate. But if I'm getting passionate about something, you're just going to have to, put up with it.
Well,
I can't help it.
It is that time of the podcast, and it's time to introduce Doomcutie to one of our newest members of this particular show. So let me just bring him in, and hopefully you guys can understand this guy. He's coming in. Where you at, buddy? Where you at?
Hey, everybody! It's Handy here. Oh my God! It's Doomcutie! Give it a round of applause! Oh my God! I'm worked up. I've been waiting for this for almost 2 weeks, Doom. It's about time you finally showed up on his show. It's really nice to have a lady here because, oh God, I'm so tired of the sausage fest, all these damn podcasts. Oh, it's nice to have a lady who can articulate, and she's actually
even though Noof doesn't add too much to the sausage fest.
No, that's just like a little wiener. That's he doesn't. He can't even classify a sausage with Noof Nukem. It's just like one of those. What do you call those little tin can ones? It's like a little beaner. Sorry, Noof, but the facts are facts, man. But anyway, it's good to have a lady because I gotta stare at these two ugly motherfuckers all the time. Oh God. But anyway, you guys got some questions for me because I think my ADHD has been kicking in for like a week now, and I got an itchy ass, and there's hands up in there. So let's go. Let's Starfield. Oh yeah, fucking Starfield. Oh, I've been playing that game. Let me tell you, my hair is falling out as we speak. It's just amazing.
Handy Andy, I do have to ask, how do you feel about the puppet representation in Starfield?
There's not enough puppets in Starfield. All the puppets are the guys who give the game a 6 out of 10. Oh, guys are puppets.
No, Handy, did you see the plushies though? There's like a bunch of different plushies.
I must have missed that. I was probably
there is, yeah.
I
collected a really cute octopus. I've been collecting them.
An octopus?
Yeah.
Oh, you just said puss. Octopus. Ah! Oh, I'm so excited. I gotta go back to playing Starfield. It's like the best game that I've had in my hands in a long time. You guys
Every
got any
time you
questions?
say
Anybody in the
octopus, he
chat?
thinks 8 pussies. Okay.
Yeah. You got? Is anybody in the chat got a question? Or Doom, you got another question for me? Sorry, I forgot to brush my teeth, but I'm kind of yellow.
I know you saw it. Will you ever brush your teeth, Andy?
Why? It's got fluoride. It's got stuff in it that just. I swear to God that all that stuff is just another way that they're just trying to send you to the dentist. Who needs teeth? Right? Who really needs teeth? Just knock them all out and let's just go gumless. Gums go.
Mental's got about
Good
3
touch.
years left on his lifespan for his teeth, so he can let us know.
When you
Then
got
Right,
no teeth, you can't
right.
have cavities. You know.
it's like Colt
This is
Eastwood.
true.
He always
This is
says
true.
he's 76 years old every time someone asks him.
I think we got a
boy.
question for Sir X-Man.
Oh boy, Sir X-Man. Hey Andy, are you gonna look for a planet of the Amazon?
Oh, I'm gonna find Planet Amazon. Is it like something that's gonna have those Amazon women on it?
I'm thinking.
Oh, that'd be so cool. I will not need to explore any more galaxies, except I might have to explore Uranus.
Oh my.
Oh boy.
How
The
far-
jokes are flowing.
Doom's look on that one was priceless.
How far in the game are you, Andy?
Man, probably not as far as you guys, because I got a real life, I gotta keep up appearances, and I gotta make sure that I still spend time with my lady friends. They don't like it when I spend too much time in front of a video game console.
You remind me a little bit of a character in the game. Probably one of my favorite characters.
Who's his name? Douche.
I think she's flirting with you.
Don't go flirting with me. You won't like it if I got.
Sorry, I might upset some of your lady friends. Apologies.
Oh.
Can't fight over handy Andy.
They're not near as cute as you are. There's a reason we call you Doomcutie. Doomcutie with the big booty. Let's play some more Starfield. Let's go. They need some co-op in Starfield. That way I can have someone else help control my controller. But anyway, that's enough of me. It's time to go. I gotta go play some Starfield. For all you guys and gals out there, make sure you explore the universe. And and if you see any more really cool puppets or weird little things like that, let me know. Let me know where to find them and send me a DM. I'm always happy to read them out and go find some. But anyway, I gotta go. Doom, get your hand out of my ass now. I wanna go play. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. See you, Doom.
Oh, handy Andy again.
It's a character.
Andy,
That
go to
is.
sleep.
Absolutely. Go to sleep, Handy Andy. Go to sleep. Oh, man. Whew. Well, this is a pretty damn good show. It was an amazing chat tonight. Shout out to everybody that came out to be a part of this. Hello again to you, Stick Figure. Who else did I miss tonight? There's been a lot of new faces here as well. We had Iceman LMH in the house. Cyber Gunter was here. Talos Ray's been hanging out with us. I see Jago Kukum was in the building tonight. Dragonheart Yobi's been here. We had Princess Zelda in the house for a little while. We got the boss mod, Lethal Papa himself, Mr. Banhammer. Good to see him here. And
Hey,
yeah, easy room for well, I didn't give him a modification here, but yeah, it's a pretty easy room to administer. We had Albert G here earlier. He came in and said a piece and didn't cause any fuss, which is interesting. Papa Woody, we got Marcellus. What's going on? Splendiferous hanging out with us as well. Good to see you in the building. My good friend Ryan Galloway is here. Good to see you, Ryan. Good to hang out with you the other night as well. And so many more. Spider-Man 356. It's good to see him back in the chat. It's been a couple of weeks since he was here. We hope that he enjoyed the show tonight. We hope to see him back in the chat again real soon. And yeah, like I said, just you guys are absolutely amazing. DE, what's going on, DE? The Game Complainers, we're going to get him on the show here at some point in time. Back from the Dead's been in the house. Yeah, there you go. Fastback, DJ Berto Das, and many more. You guys are absolutely amazing. Couldn't do this without you. You have no idea how much we appreciate your time spent with us. And whether you're not able to catch us live, catching it on the replay is also, we love you for it. So I love the comments, good or bad. Let us know if we're in the right direction. Curry Cosmos, again, congratulations on winning that controller. Hope you're enjoying it. And RWK, good to see you here, man. Thanks again. Talos, you're awesome. But anyway, let's let everybody get out of here. Let's start with our incredible guest. She looks like she needs to get back to real life and maybe back to playing some Starfield. She needs to start her day. It's in the morning over there on a Tuesday. She's already in the future, for crying out loud. No wonder she likes Starfield.
What time is it over there?
It is currently 10:43 a.m. on Tuesday.
See? She's well ahead of us now.
Nice.
All right, Jim.
8:43 p.m.
You got a fantastic little podcast that you do. Make sure that you let everybody know where to catch you and the other lovely ladies who inhabit that scene and where they can catch up with you on all platforms.
Thank you so much for having me on, Noof. Titan, Mental, you're great. Love talking Starfield with you guys. You have such unique points of view, and I really appreciate that on a podcast. So thank you. Yeah, chat, you're very funny. So thank you for entertaining us this evening for you guys. In regards to me, this week I am extremely busy planning for PAX Oz. So PAX Australia, Penny Arcade Expo, that will be here first week of October. So I'm going to be doing a lot of scheduling for that. And I actually have some really exciting news about PAX coming up really soon. And it might interest some of you guys here. So this is the first, I've had so many wonderful opportunities this year throughout, being on podcasts like this and, really getting into the community. It's been absolutely fantastic. And I'm really grateful for all the opportunities I've been presented with. And yeah, so I'm doing some scheduling for that. I'm doing Starfield stuff. I'm also on my own podcast, which is on it'll be Friday evening for you guys. And it's called Confessions of a Gamer Girl. We have like our own mugs, Confessions of a Gamer Girl.
Oh, very nice.
I got all the girls. Yeah, it's an all-female panel, and we aim to amplify female voices in the gaming community. So we this week we actually have Bexbomb, who's from Xbox UK. She will be on our show. She's really awesome. She's on Twitter. So yeah, definitely check us out. Check out my YouTube channel, Confessions of a Gamer Girl. And yeah, I'm also on the Well Played podcast as well, and we film that Tuesday evenings, and it's usually out by Saturday. And yeah, so I'm around. And my DMs are open on Twitter if you guys ever want to chat. I'm always on Xbox. Feel free to add me. It's Doom CUT1E because I can't have Doomcutie on Xbox, sadly. But anyway, thank you again. Yeah, I want to get back to playing Starfield.
Absolutely. Well, we're happy to have you here, and we look forward to having you back in the future. And again, also open to having more female gamers with their perspectives as well on this particular podcast. So again, thank you for being here. Best of success, and we'll be catching up with you soon. And by the way, I think one great idea that we should organize in the future, and I think Titan would probably be down with this, is let's do a game night with some of the top female girls in the community versus, some of us, Joe Blows. And let's pick a couple of fun games to play. What do you think? Guys versus gals? Titan's like, sign me up, Call of Duty, let's go.
I don't know, maybe more like golf with friends.
Well, I'll tell you what, we could do a little Call of Duty, and then maybe some of that Party Animals game when it comes out.
Oh yeah, Party Animals could be fun.
And there's always Uno.
Uno.
Every time I think about Unos, I think about the first time it came out on the Xbox 360 when remember the cameras just came out? Boy, oh boy, was
Nah,
that.
look, as long as Andy doesn't come, we'll be fine.
Oh man,
Leave Andy at
Mental.
home.
Good, yeah, as long as Andy's not. Yeah, Andy is not allowed anywhere close to alcohol and ladies at the same time. Not a good mix. Mental. I still loving that tonight. That's awesome. How his head's almost lined up perfectly in the center of that Starfield thing. It's just look at that. Look at that. That's like perfect. Yeah. And it almost looks actually in between because you have the red chair. It almost looks like you got the Wendy's pigtails hanging out there.
There you go. Might be tough with my head, but
yeah. But anyway, man,
I'll get a wig. I'll get a wig.
Glad to have you back this week. Hopefully, life is getting a little simpler for you down in good old Edmontonium.
Yeah. Things are coming along. It's getting closer and closer to having my actual office space done and studio and stuff in the basement. So that'll be a lot nicer. I'm looking forward to that. A little more quiet than what I'm dealing with here with the background noise and stuff. But yeah, Mental9R everywhere you look, really. PlayStation, Xbox, Twitter, YouTube. But I do use my Caffeine Entertainment channel on YouTube. So a couple of videos up there. I'm going to keep trying to put out more and more content as time permits, and should get a little bit better as time goes on once I'm into my proper space there as well. And yeah,
awesome.
That's where I'm at. My DMs are open too. So no, if you guys have any questions or anything hardware related, PC stuff, just hit me up. Happy to help.
Fabulous. I got a question for you. Do you know how to solder some capacitors back onto a motherboard?
Maybe. It's I think you mentioned that stuff before. Soldering stuff before I can do it.
I've got the parts, and I've never done it before, and I'd like for it to work, but I really don't want to go pay some. I already paid $90-something for a dud console. I don't want to go pay now another computer guy like over $100. I'd gladly give you some money, but anyway, Titan Drago. Let people know where they can find you and who gets your infamous award tonight.
Common Sense Award tonight. We got Doomcutie on the panel, Australian. So I got to give it to a fellow Australian. It's just I think a happenstance moment here because I got to give it to Papa Woody. I guess I didn't even know he was Australian until tonight. But yeah, I got to give it to Papa Woody. He said Starfield is the 10-year plus game that Xbox was hoping Halo Infinite would be. Man, I couldn't agree more. Also, he's really frustrated about the Xbox gaming community not being represented as well in Australia. And I can always get a hold of that because I'm always complaining about Xbox and their, lack of marketing or whatever. I always think they can do much better.
Are you Australian, Papa Woody? Because he said what?
I could have swore he was. He is, right? I mean, he said Australian gaming community is small and Xbox is even smaller. Where my Series X fridge, Aaron, we get diddly squat over here. So I'm thinking he's from Australia from that.
His marketing's a little off too.
No matter where you're at, Papa Woody, you still get the Common Sense Award.
That's amazing. I'm so glad there are some Aussies in the chat. Sometimes I feel like a little bit lonely.
I saw one earlier. I think she's a fan of yours, Casey. Does that ring a bell for you, Doomcutie?
Yeah. Yep.
Is that a girl, guy? I'm not sure, but Casey was in the chat earlier.
I'm not sure either.
Okay. But either which way, good to see you, Casey. And the first time in this chat. And everybody that's been here, again, thanks for the love and support. You guys know where to find me, always in the gutter. We're back here with these casts of characters and a lovely guest each and every week. Same time, same place. Mondays, 9 Eastern. Apparently, that's like 9 a.m. in Aussie time, or at least in Doomcutie's neck of the woods. We got that figured out now, which is good. Glad to have her here as well. Again, the chat's been awesome. Great show again tonight. Great conversation on Starfield. Now I'm going to let everybody go and get back to playing the actual game. Thanks again, guys. Until next week, we'll see you on episode 16. Take care and have a great day, afternoon, evening, or night. Take care, everybody.
Hey, folks.
See ya.
Boom, boom, boom.
Bye.
Bye.